All right, welcome to the Chason Laing podcast. It's interesting people and interesting topics. And today I have a fantastic guest today, Ynez Spencer. He is an actor, and man, he's been all over the place. So we're going to just basically dive right in there and say, what's up, Ynez? How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. So let me just start off by saying the number one reason why I thought you would be a great person to talk to and just see what's going on with you is because when I had the pleasure of working with you, you had one of the best attitudes of any actor I've ever worked with. Like, you were just so positive and pumped and just extremely humble for an actor, which is unusual, I think. Like, most of the time, actors can have a serious attitude or bring that diva thing around. But man, you did not have that at all. You were just a lot of fun to be around. You made everything better. And so I thought, man, yeah, I gotta talk to you, find out what you're doing.
Well, thank you, man. First of all, I really do appreciate that. One, it was an honor just to even work with you, man. But I feel like when you step into any kind of project and you just have this serious attitude, you don't like working with people, you're not gonna get worked with, man. So if I can just really learn and just grow with y'all, even new people, I'm learning from new people. So just going in and just having this positive, outgoing, mindset, I think is just, something special.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great perspective to have, because I don't know if I've ever really, even for anything, felt like I've made it, like I've figured it all out. I think you're always learning. And as long as you keep that in your brain, like, hey, there's stuff to learn here and you can see what other people are doing and learn from them, then it just keeps you, normalized, more humble and fun to be around. And I've worked with plenty of actors I did not like to be around. So
it's crazy, bro. And I had told you on that day on set, man, obviously doing modeling and stuff, but I had never modeled jewelry,
Yeah.
So being able to, hold the jewelry a certain way, or just the way that you were directing us, that was really dope, bro. And it was awesome to be able to just learn from that.
Yeah. Well, that was my first men's jewelry commercial for sure. And, I'd seen some videos that they had sent me saying, hey, look at this, you try to kind of copy this kind of stuff. But yeah, even that was just like, well, here we are directing people on men on how to wear jewelry. And it was just kind of interesting.
Well, remember when you were like, oh, we were in the dressing room, and you came back, you were like, hey, we got to run it back. We got to run it back. And I was like, I'm going to put the same one on, that was pretty cool, man. It was a pretty fun day.
Yeah. Well, so when I met you, and just for the audience's sake, that was the first time we had kind of worked together. You actually were in the middle of shooting something with Michael Chiklis, and you were running back and forth. So you've kind of fit this into your schedule. So tell me about that project, what you were working on, what you did, that experience. And plus Michael Chiklis has got it. That's got to be an amazing experience.
Yeah, man. So we were on day 19. We had started at the beginning of October. I was literally filming that day that we did the shoot, and it was just a bunch of back and forth, and it was real cool, man. Just being able to come in with game-changing films, to be able to come with Way Forest Studios, and really just working with Mike, working with Rod Leary, our director, working with everybody there, especially Game Changing Films. They just made us feel like a family. They really took care of us. We'd show up to set early, and they would be feeding us breakfast. We'd have the food trucks out there. We'd get into the locker room. It really felt like a family setting within the football team. But my character, I actually get to keep my name, Ynez. So, my grandmother named me, and, after her father, and being able to actually have my name, my actual name in the movie is going to be something special. It's my first feature film in a football movie where I can actually have lines, and I'm in the entire movie. So I'm really excited, man. They finished filming it in November, and they're looking to drop it this year, either on Disney Plus or, in theaters, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah. I think I saw an Instagram, I think it was an Instagram post of you at the end of the shoot. I think you were standing with the director and then Chiklis there. And just tell me about that. How was it working with him? I've seen him in so many movies. For me, that's like a dream gig almost.
Man, I waited until the last day to take a picture with him, because the first day I was just like, that's the thing, bro, from Fantastic Four. I wanted to go, pat his head a little bit, get some blessings. No, but I waited until I think day 9, and we were on set, and he's just a funny guy. He was doing all his stunts with us. And I went over to him, and I'm like, it's clobbering time. And he just stopped production. He was like, oh, let's get Ynez over here. He made me dance in front of everybody. Yeah. And they recorded it, bro. So I think it's going to be on a blooper. He's a funny guy, man. And then just getting in touch with Rod, Leary, our director, he's bringing me on for his next movie.
Awesome.
That was just something truly special, bro, because he just did The Outpost on Netflix. And being a military brat, being a military person, I mean, it was really positive and motivating learning from him and seeing how he directs things, being an Army guy, being, you know, that Army football kind of person. So that was really dope.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue. Like, tell me, so again, like you're doing acting, you're bouncing from one thing to another, ending up, you know, filming with me, and you've got more stuff in the works. So before you get into like what the future is, let's just go back a little bit and just tell me, how did you even get into this whole acting deal? Like, what's your story?
Man, so I was pursuing the NFL. I was playing at Wayland Baptist University. I had some semi-pro on my belt. I was going to go play at Tech. Some stuff happened in school. You know, went through the military route, and I was just doing college and military, and my eyes were set on football, man. Like I had no experience with acting, never did acting in high school or anything. And my theater director happened to be my financial advisor at Wayland. His name's Marty Runnels. Shout out to Marty. And yeah, man, he was just like, come audition for this play. I said, dude, I'm playing football. And he's like, no, man, like, what are you going to do outside of football? And I started thinking in my head, like, I'm 22 years old at the time. By the time I graduate, I'll be 26 like I am now. I got 4 years, you know, until I hit 30. That's not good for a running back in the NFL. I started thinking about it, man. I started thinking about the longevity of my career, the longevity of my life. What am I going to be doing? So acting, I found my calling with acting, man, in theater at Wayland. And it was the best decision ever, bro. Like I truly love acting so much. Me and my fiance, we were watching Tick, Tick, Boom last night.
Yeah.
With Andrew Garfield. Bro, like, she's right here, man. She'll tell you, I kept pausing it. I'm just like, babe, did you see it? Yes, babe, I saw it. Like, you know, I love this industry so much. And being able to really just learn every day, bro. Like we were saying earlier, just learning every single day. I don't know everything. I'm going to be learning until I'm 90 probably, you know? So it's pretty cool being able to just start in theater and just work my way up. I'll reach 5 years of acting this August. So that's going to be pretty cool, bro.
Yeah, well, for 5 years, you've already got quite a little arsenal of films and content that you've been in, which is pretty amazing. Because I know some people that have been in it for a while, and it's hard to get anything. But you've landed some pretty cool stuff, like pretty quickly. Like, didn't you? I think the last time you were about to fly out to Chicago, and you were doing, I think, was it Chicago Fire that you were going to go work on? Yeah, how was that?
Oh, it's amazing, bro. I literally leave back to Chicago tomorrow. Like that, today's been one of those days, bro. I've just been on the go and I haven't even started packing yet, bro. I got to be there for 2 days. I was supposed to leave last week, but COVID, you know, yeah. Omicron, it's pushing everything back, bro. So they literally pushed it to tomorrow. So I got to film in total at least 30 hours in the next 2 days. And then I have to come back to my hometown, do what I got to do here, go back. Then I got an audition next Tuesday in Dallas for a game show as a host. Like, so it's a lot of traveling, man. But I mean, it's always good when you can have a partner with you that supports you, and she keeps me going for sure.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. I just celebrated 18 years with my wife, so yeah, I know all about that kind of stuff. It doesn't feel like 18 years, but I feel like when you get to 18 years, you start realizing, like, I think we passed that point where it was like, you know, is it going to work? You know, I think we established a while ago, like, yeah, it's going to work. You're going to be together. So that kind of support is great.
What advice would you give us going into like a marriage? You know, obviously we just got engaged, you know.
Oh, congratulations. I didn't even know that. So congratulations, man. That's awesome.
First of all, let me show her off. Come
here. She's like, what? No, I didn't know.
Amazing fiance.
Awesome. Congratulations.
You.
Have y'all set a date yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, still in the works. That's cool.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out, but it's all working out, man. I'm thankful that I was able to find the one and somebody that I can actually see myself with 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you know. So
yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I could probably talk about a lot of things, but I guess my basic advice is, if you make effort to always choose to spend time with the one you love and focus on, that comes first before going out and doing other things. Or, I do a lot of extracurricular activities like sports and different things like that. But if you make sure that you are, putting money in that bank every day, then the bank is just going to keep growing and growing. But if you strain it, then that's where you get into, into problems. I heard all these people being like, yeah, man, that first year of marriage was hard, or that 5th year of marriage was hard. Well, I'm 18 in. I've never really had a year where I was like, oh my gosh, that was hard. And I think it's just because if you're consistent about saying, hey, this is priority. I come home. I don't care if we're doing Netflix or whatever, but we have us time. We do it every day. And that's just right. It doesn't have to be like 10 hours, but you know what I mean? Like you need to have us time every day. So there's my 10 cents of that.
Yeah, well, appreciate that, brother. We really, really do appreciate that.
Awesome. So tell me, so 5 years into acting,
yes,
what would you say are your biggest like teaching moments where if you had to talk to people trying to jump into the acting gig, or if they're already in the acting gig, like what are some of the things that kind of were major lessons that you learned and were like, oh yeah, I'm going to take that one and go with it?
I think, bro, just saving your money right. If you're an extras usually get paid. It just depends, bro. You work with Lionsgate, you might be getting $500 a day. You get, certain kind of projects in. Those extra jobs, bro, they pay a good penny. And so when you start landing those supporting roles, leading roles, and you actually start getting in the thousands, just saving your money. If you're not doing acting full time, just traveling. You have to travel. You have to submit everywhere. If you live in Texas and you're submitting in Louisiana or something, you have to prepare because you're going to have to let them know on that, audition application that you live there. If you can let them know that you live there, then you can really just, you can show them that you're consistent with traveling.
Yeah.
If you can show them that you're consistent with traveling, then you're good. If you are saving your money right, you don't have to worry about, oh man, where am I going to stay? You can automatically get your hotel. So really just saving up, trying to get to $5,000, $10,000 before you get into it full time. That goes for really any age, especially for parents that are paying for their kids coming up, just saving that kind of money so your kid or yourself can travel.
Yeah.
And really just staying positive, man. Just staying positive. You're going to have those moments where you get the no's. I still get no's. Anytime I get a no, it's motivation. That's what keeps you going. You can't give up. I'm going to be 30 in literally 3 years, bro. So I have my goals,
Yeah, you're such a baby. You're good. You got time.
Yeah, I'm a baby still. The beard bears started coming in like 2 years ago. So, I'm still a little baby, man. But just really just learning every day, man. You got to learn every day. You don't know everything, study, do your homework. If you got casted for a role, even when you're not casted for the role and you're doing audition, I've never done a teacher role, and I just auditioned for that 2 or 3 days ago. And I approached it like this, but I was a teacher. So I literally dressed up as a teacher, so you have to do your homework in auditions and for the projects.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit. You said, you've had some no's, and man, I'm totally aware of that. Like, I think in this realm of work, this creative work, I think, getting no's, getting bad reviews, there's a level that you have to get used to dealing with mentally, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen a lot, like it or not. Even the best actors are going to experience the no factor. So what do you do when you're like, I tried out for this thing, I never heard back, or you get rejected at something? How do you deal with it?
Man, okay, so I did an audition in 2019 with Lionsgate, and it was, what is that scary? It was a horror film, and I went in and I did my part, and I felt like I did good, man. And they called me back and they said I didn't get it. They said that I wasn't too handsome. They needed a handsome role, I wasn't. Oh. You know what I mean? So, when you get stuff like that, where you kind of get those kind of that feedback, you just got to run with it. If they mean that you aren't too handsome, that means that it's not that you're not good looking or whatever. You just didn't fit that part. And I think that's where people struggle, because they start getting insecurities about how they look and how they act. you just have to go into it and go above and beyond. One thing that I learned from Michael B. Jordan, he's my favorite actor, is that when he auditioned for Friday Night Lights, he went and tackled the casting director in the audition. So if you can go above and beyond, you got it, you know. And if you don't got it, you just learn from it, add it to your resume, and then just move forward. Because even though they told you no, they could see your work one day and be like, you know what, let's bring that guy in. Oh, he actually auditioned in the past. You know what, let's go ahead and give him that shot. You know, so you have to think positively all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that you have to, on the one hand, I totally agree. Like, you got to stay positive. If you don't stay positive, you're not going to make it in this industry for sure. And I think second, like for me, even like, you know, the critics, there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to say you're not handsome, or you're not good, or you're not whatever. Like, because the truth is nothing is for everybody, you know? Exactly. So I feel like, you know, you have to get used to, you know, somebody might think this was the greatest thing ever and love it. And then the next person can watch and be like, this was the biggest waste of time. I wish I had all my time back. This was horrible, you know, and you have to be able to just let that go and just build up a tough skin. And like, I kind of view it like when somebody compliments and you get a compliment, you just take it, you know, put it in your mental bank and say, thank you very much. That's great. Yeah. And that way, when the bad things come, it's just like, and you just, you know, good, bad, it just does not go to your head.
That's a good point, bro, because a lot of people don't really understand that. A lot of people just, I love all people, man, but conceited people, bro, like conceited people just, they don't think when they say stuff, bro. So, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I mean? And they don't stay humble.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's also what causes problems in relationships, when people say other people are attractive, because there's a sense that like, somebody calls you attractive and instead you kind of feel like this feeling towards that, you know what I mean? When they're really just trying to be nice, you know? So you got to get to the point to where you remain humble at all times. And if you get, you know, if somebody says you're handsome or beautiful, whatever, oh, thank you very much. And then go about your day. And that shows them like, okay, this is more than just a conceit. This is a humble person. This person actually enjoys life. They don't enjoy all the negatives in life.
Yeah. Yeah. What about, you know, so, you know, as an actor, and especially someone like you that's going out for certain roles that, you know, has potential to be very competitive roles, you know, obviously you're in pretty good shape. Like I've seen you, you're in pretty good shape. How do you maintain that kind of shape with the lifestyle where you're saying, where you're on the go, you're doing stuff, you're traveling, you're having to do all this stuff? Any kind of tips, tricks, things that you do that are?
One, just get you a trainer and try to do 2-a-days. I try to get workouts in the mornings and in the afternoon. I usually try to start at 4:30 in the morning. You know, being able to get up, meditate, and then go to your workout. One, you've already got one workout done for the day. Then you can have your second workout, plus eating right. You know, for this firefighter role, I kept my weight around like 190. But then, you know, I have my that was our son. You know, having you know, this balance where you can really just understand how your body is, you know. So for this military film with Rod Leary, I got to get up to like 210. And then, you know, for the boxing film, Goliath, being the lead for that one's going to take a toll, bro. I got to be at 2 different weights for the film. I got to be at 180 for the, you know, one fight. And then I got to be at 230 for the next fight.
Yeah. So are you just planning on bulking up on like protein powder, or what are you going to do?
Just, I think I'm just going to leave it up to my meal prep people, my nutritionist, and my trainers. We're going to have like a whole team for that movie, and just, we're going to try to figure out like which fight do we need to go with first? What weight am I going to start off with? Am I going to be at 230 and then just drop weight, or because it's going to be harder being at 180 and then bulking up to 230 within a certain amount of weeks. That's going to take months.
Well, you're not a, you know, just for the, you know, audience record here, you're not a huge guy. You're like, what, are you 5'10"? Where are you at?
I'm like 5'9".
5'9". Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you're, you know, bulking up to 230. That's pretty stout. Like no doubt.
I've never been at 230, bro. The most I've ever been at was 215. And it was what I was at when we did the shoot.
Really?
Yeah. So it's going to be tough, bro. But I feel like the way that we are going to approach it and stuff like that, just, that's overall the main, answer to your question is that you just got to maintain your body. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So
Yeah.
if I can keep my body like this and keep it ready to go, packing on the muscle, putting in the work anyways, that will just come. And then it starts with your diet. Like if you don't have a good diet, it's not gonna work.
So are you one of those? You one of those people that's just eating a ton of chicken and rice, or what's your go-to?
Steak. I love cooking, man. I love cooking. So I make steak basically every day. I'll have usually 4 to 5 PBJs in between the snacks. I'll usually eat 10 eggs in the morning, with oatmeal. It just ranges, man. But my steak is definitely my go-to. Chicken and rice. Chicken and rice is really good. There's a chicken and rice spot in Carrollton that I like going to. So it's pretty nice.
What about?
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I cut out when you said the name of the restaurant. I didn't hear what it was.
CNR, Chicken and Rice.
Gotcha.
It's in Carrollton.
Okay. What about? So you said you wake up at 4:30 in the morning. That can be brutal all by itself. So how do you maintain getting up at 4:30? What time do you go to bed?
We at least try to be in bed by 10, but that doesn't work because we just stay watching movies and just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She works hard. She's works from home as a software engineer, and she's on the go. And me being on the go, we just try to find our ways where we can just really just spend time whenever we can. So it's really just trying. Like I'm a military person, so in the military they teach you, like they put it in your mind, you got to be up by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. So plus being in sports, you got to get up for 2-a-days. You got to be at workouts by 6. So it's already there naturally, but really just maintaining your mind and just telling yourself, like, dude, you got to get up, because if you get up, you're going to miss your workout and you're just going to be sluggish all day long, and I don't really do a lot of protein shakes.
Yeah.
I do everything, really, I try to eat more than anything, so if I have to take a protein shake, it'll be just once a day type stuff, unless, until I have to do that boxing film, but really just putting it in my mind to actually have to get up and do it.
Yeah. Well, what about what's going on with your future? Like, I know you're about to get up and go again. What kind of films are you looking at working in now, and what's your current kind of schedule going?
So I am booked with 17 projects all the way up until November. On top of that, I did 3 auditions this week for other projects too, so it could possibly be more. But I know that Rod is already about to start scouting for West Point, his military army football movie. He's bringing in. Well, I was about to say a spoiler.
Don't spoil anything.
He's gonna bring in a huge name as one of the leads, so I'm really, really excited for it. He's looking at maybe Albuquerque, and then what else? We got Goliath. Got stuff with Tyler Perry, stuff with Lionsgate. There's possibly a game show. Like it's going to be a pretty busy couple of months moving forward, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, that sounds awesome, man. I mean, congratulations to be booked so steadily. Like that's amazing all by itself. You said something. When I first met you, we actually met in a weird way because you had just gotten in a car accident the night before. Yeah. And so your car had been like completely totaled or trashed. And first of all, did whatever happened with that? You ever get your car back, or what happened?
Nope, I got a new car. A new car. It's all good now. I'm in the new car. But that was scary, bro. I'll
believe it. Yeah. But I mean, that put me in the car with you. So we were driving up, to go to the shoot together, and we had a chance to talk. One of the things that you said that I thought was really interesting was that you were doing jobs at the time, or you had been helping with jobs at the time that was paying either very, very little or none, or then sometimes you get jobs that were paying more. And you really had an attitude like, I don't care if I can do it. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to do it. And I thought that was really interesting, because I know some people that are like, no, if you're not at least at this much, I just, no way, I'm out of here. And you were like, no, I'm going to do everything. So tell me a little about your mentality when it comes to doing films like that for the sake of film.
I think, man, it really depends on the story, bro, because I do it full time. Like, this is not, I can't just say yes to $100, like on it, like that's it. You know what I mean? So it's really about the story, but at the same time, I approach it like I love this industry. I'm not in it for the money, but at the same time, this is my job. Like I got to get paid, you know? So, really just approaching it. I really loved what, you know, you and Spice were doing and the collaboration and bringing me onto it and signing with y'all. I think that was really dope because one, I had never done a jewelry, you know, ad. I had never done jewelry in general. And then two, it just being in Texas and showing people that, you know, you can really do something in Texas. So that was just something special, man. Like I had told you, man, the price, when you had asked me like, oh, how much, you know, what's your range? To this day, brother, I still don't have a range. If, you know, somebody comes to me and they say, hey, we want you for this modeling shoot, or we want you for this commercial, how much is your range? I'm going to tell them the same thing I told you, brother. I don't have a range. I'm going to go in, bust my tail, and show y'all what I'm worth. And then whatever y'all feel like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just goes back to, if somebody asks me and I say, oh, I need $500, and then I go in and I had a horrible attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm going in and I'm saying, hey, I'm not in it for the money, I'll do whatever, you know, y'all want me to do. Let me prove myself to y'all.
Yeah.
Especially when those roles come in and I don't have to audition for roles and I'm just getting picked for them. You know, I want to go in and show before we even start filming, like, hey, like I was meant to get picked for this, you know? So that's very, very important. Just making sure that, but at the same time, people are different. If you feel like you need like an area where like, hey, like this is a range, like, oh, I need 350 to 500, you know, for this. You know, people are different. Some people actually they actually enjoy getting paid and they actually want to just have that lifestyle. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything like that, but find your pros and your cons with it.
Yeah. No, I think that's great because on the one hand, you're kind of putting your value first. Like you're like, hey, I'm going to show you that I'm valuable. And that it is true because after working with you, I was like, yeah, I'd work with this guy again for sure. Because, you know, you brought it, you were fun to bring around. You brought a livelihood to the set that, you know, was fun. It had a good attitude. And then I mean, on the other end of the pendulum here, I've definitely worked with actors that are more expensive for sure. But they bring a whole level of drama and neediness and, you know, they might be good, but then when I'm thinking about, well, who do I want to work with again? They might have been really good. And at the same time, they just bring all that with them. They're like, I don't know if I want to do that. Whereas somebody like you, it's like, oh, no, I mean, I've worked with him and he shows up to bring his game and he makes himself valuable right there. And so, yeah, it was just a great thought. I was really interested to see how that worked out. And obviously it's keeping you busy. So it's got to have some success with that.
Yeah, I'm approaching at this, like, I always talk about this with my agents. I don't want to go for those roles that are just going to be thrown on the rug. Like, I want to be a part of those stories that are going to make an impact because we're in a society now where things are really coming out to light, you know, for the gay community, for, you know, Hispanics, minorities, you know, Black Lives Matter, you know, Asians, you know, where Asians are getting their movies and stuff now. Those are the kind of stuff I want to be a part of. I don't want to be a part of projects that are really just getting overlooked and getting thrown under the rug, you know. And I'm really excited. Netflix is coming out with all these originals and I love that, you know. So just really just having a voice and showing people that you can make these right kind of decisions financially as well as in your career. So that's very, very important to me.
Yeah. You said you had an agent. How many agents are you working with now? And are they spread all over the place or how are you doing that?
I have 4 of them. I actually just signed with another lady in September. I think I had told you about it. Ronnie Hummel.
Mm-hmm.
She works out in Dallas. Verna Kimball here in Texas. Kim Toomey in Atlanta. She has everybody. She's the agent of Boris, John Cena, TJ Jackson, John David Washington, Kerry Washington, just a number of A+ names. Angela Johnson in California. So it's always good to have multiple agents because those agents are sending you everywhere. Plus, you kind of get the scammers out the way, you know? So it's good to have
What do you mean
multiple,
the scammers? Tell me, explain that.
like agencies that are coming in and saying you need to pay money up front.
Mm.
So like those are the scammers. Those are the people that are just wanting your money. They're not really worried about they don't believe in you. They want the money up front to, and then they're just like, oh, he's locked in, you know? So really just getting those kind of people out the way and bringing in the real people, real agents, real agencies, real production companies. They're going to take money out of your checks, not straight up ask you up front. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how those are the legit people when they actually care about you and they know your worth and they're just taking a percentage out of your checks because you're already signed with it. They're not asking straight up, you know?
Yeah. No, I think that's great advice, especially if we, you know, for other actors who are, you know, working with agents. There's a lot of them, and I've worked with a lot, and I've heard horror stories of things just like that. So it's good to hear out of your mouth, like, hey, yeah, avoid that like the plague.
Yeah, man, I literally just had a production company like 2 weeks ago, and they had already asked me a couple months before, and I was like, no, I'm not fixing to do that. And then the guy asked, and he wanted me to drop a down payment of $300 to work with them, and I'm like, fam, like I can just go to my connects, you know, you getting advice from Tyler, getting, you know, advice from 50 Cent, getting advice from these people that I work with. I can just, you know, continue to build my way up and improve my worth. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's already enough when you have to pay so much traveling and doing all this and that. Productions are paying for your stuff, obviously, but like I said, I'm doing this full time and I'm everywhere. Like I'm going to LA, I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to Chicago, I'm about to go to New York, you know, just being smart with my decisions, basically, especially not even hitting 30 yet. Like when I hit 30, I want to be able to look back and be like, okay, those first 7 years were really, really good. You know?
Do you have any like dream roles, things that, you know, things that you would love to have played, or that you know, it's like, if you could get a role, like that's the one you're wanting to get?
Marvel is on top. Marvel, that the minute the Marvel role comes up, that's it.
You're done.
You know, like, yeah, like that's my dream role, you know, is being with Marvel and, you know, being able to do something like that. I'd love to work with Michael B. Jordan. I'd love to work with Jonathan Majors, doing a Western, doing, you know, when it's all said and done and I'm in my 60s, 70s, living our best life on a I was about to say a U-Haul, on an RV. Definitely not a U-Haul, guys. Don't live in a U-Haul.
Yeah.
No, just having that RV life. I want, you know, to go back and people say like he's done every single role. He went and did a firefighter role, and then he was a software engineer, or, you know, doing a swimming role and then going and doing a military role. Like that's very important to me. So I feel like overall, man, just I want to be able to do as many roles as possible. I want to be able to show people I can sing, I can dance, you know, I can just do all these kind of roles, and I have that range.
Yeah. Do you have you have a Marvel character already in mind?
I sure do. Bishop.
Ah, that's actually a good role. That's a good role. I sure
do. Yep, Bishop, man. Bishop. Man, bro, that would be insane.
Yeah, they haven't had that character brought to life, have they, in any of the previous movies? I don't think they have.
They did for X-Men Days of Future Past, and he actually died in the movie. And I was like, bro, what? You know, so I think it would be cool, man. I would bulk up. Like if they say, hey, we got to get you at 260, 250 for the role, I will do it. I don't care. I'll just eat hamburgers and then just be in the gym.
Yeah, well, I remember I got an X-Men comic, or maybe it was a Wolverine comic. I can't remember. It was in high school, but it was a definitely more adult version of the comics, and that was one of the main characters. And there was some seriously brutal fights in those comics, and so that would be a really interesting character.
Yeah, but I mean, Blade's coming out.
Yep,
Blade's coming out. So I mean, something with Blade would be nice.
Yeah.
Just Marvel Studios is at the top, bro. Marvel Studios has got all the content out there, everything. They're killing it. They just killed it with Spider-Man. They're killing it with their shows. They've got so many, they got like, I think 11 projects this year coming out. So Marvel, man, definitely having the opportunity to work with NBC and with the Chicago shows, that was a huge blessing. But yeah, man, I just leaving the door open for all possibilities, basically.
Yeah. Well, I think that's great, man. I think that having, obviously, I hope that you get all the stuff, open up all the doors, get all the roles. That would be amazing. And then I'd be able to watch and be like, yeah, I knew that guy when he was doing jewelry.
I'm still gonna be doing jewelry with y'all though.
Yeah. Hey, man, it actually was way more fun than I thought. That was one of those things. If you had asked me 10, 20 years ago, what kind of things would I imagine not doing film, I would have said men's jewelry was high on that list of things I would never do. And then when you find yourself doing it, it was kind of just awkward, especially when there was that moment. I don't know if you were in the room or who was in the room, but I was talking to somebody who was modeling, and I heard people behind me talking, and I turned around and it was like the TCU interns coming through there, and they were like, here's a set. And like, I'm right in the middle of conducting a men's jewelry, and the shirts are off and they're all trying to be sexy and stuff. And it's just like, bro, this is so weird, man. I don't know. I never thought I'd be there.
When they walked in, I was like, oh, hell. Let me go put my shirt on. Like, it was crazy. It was a fun day, though.
It turned out to be really fun. I enjoyed the whole thing, and I enjoyed working with you. Any last kind of like tips that you might give any actors that maybe something that they wouldn't think of if they were starting out, or if, maybe a pitfall that they could avoid that you maybe learned from?
Skincare.
Explain.
When I was in football, I did not care about my skin. I was just like, oh, I got a pimple. That's cool. No, it's all good. I'm sweating anyways. When you get into the industry, you have to keep your body right. You got to keep your face right. Hygiene. Make sure you're brushing your teeth like twice, sometimes 3 times a day. Make sure you're drinking your water. Water is the most important. Drink a gallon, 2 gallons a day, because water is what keeps your skin clean as well. So just skincare, hygiene.
Do you use any particular like lotion or something that you like?
Yeah, I actually, I've messed with like a couple of different stuff. I'm trying this like African oil. I usually spray it down. I'll use it in the shower. When I grow my beard out, it gets thick. I got to keep the beard shiny, brother. Like,
yeah, I understand.
I don't want to go to set and like I got food in my beard and you're just like, oh crap, So making sure that you're taking care of my beard, got my beard oil. But just trying different skincares and just keeping the whole skin, not just your face, but keeping your whole skin clean, because you're going to have those scenes where you're going to be shirtless, or you're going to have to show off your body, so making sure that your skin is clear and good. And just on the acting side, staying positive. Don't let the money get to you. Don't let the fame get to you. When you meet, if you're an extra and you meet these big actors, don't walk up to them and ask for a picture. Don't do it. One, the directors don't like that, and you will not get a call back. And work your way up. Take your time. Enjoy the process. It's gonna suck, if you're barely getting to it, because you don't know anything. You're having to ask around. You're taking those jobs that aren't paying, and then sometimes you're learning like, oh, those jobs were actually good, So just really just making sure that you are dedicated to what you're doing. I actually have a movie that's about to come out called A Promising Decision. And I'm really, really excited for that one, because that one took me out of my comfort zone. And so I'm really excited to see what people
Where's it coming out?
On the Roku app.
Okay.
And then we are going to be premiering it in Dallas as well. We're going to have premiere night. Our director, Brenda Marlowe, she's putting everything together. Having Tyler Perry come in and help out a lot was really, really dope. So I got to give a shout out to everybody on that production, just in general. Like they killed it. I'm really excited for everybody to see that one for sure.
Excellent. How can people follow you? You want to shout out your Instagram channel or something right now so that people can look you up and follow you?
So my Instagram's Ynez, YNEZ, Robert Spencer, all together. And then same thing on Facebook, it's Ynez Spencer. Yeah, it's always good, getting feedback from people and just learning from them. When I got casted for Chicago Fire, oh man, I almost forgot to say this. So the way that I got in for Chicago Fire, I was an extra for Chicago PD. I'm actually going to be on next week's episode, January 19th. It's on Wednesdays. You can catch it on NBC channel, whatever channel y'all's NBC channels are for. I got to work with Jose Zuniga and Officer Voight, Detective Voight. And that was a really cool experience because the casting director, Claire Simon, actually looked back and said, hey, we like your work. We want to bring you on as a principal role. And so, Chicago PD dropping next week, and then Chicago Fire, I'll get to announce that whenever I get, authorization to talk about it. But just having firefighters reach out, firefighter families reach out, via social media, that was a humbling experience because I had that month all in November where I was training and prepping before I left and just learning stuff that I didn't even know, bro. Them uniforms are heavy, bro.
Yeah. They're like 70, 85 pounds, something like that.
Yes, man.
And that's before the tanks.
That's before the tanks. And then you put on the mask and like, one, I have to shave, like two, gotta like have no hair on me. Like it's a process, man. I've really been enjoying it. Plus just filming it in Chicago was just a dream come true. So I'm excited for people to see everything.
Awesome. Well, Ynez, thank you so much for coming out on the show and just doing this with me. I just appreciate it. I want to follow you and just keep up with you and what's going on. As I said, I'd work with you any day. You're that kind of guy that it was like easy. Absolutely. Well, I'll make sure that we put all your your handles and everything down in the show notes and stuff like that. So let me do our little outro here a little bit. This has been the Chason Laing podcast. You'll find relevant links from today's show in the show notes below. If you enjoyed our show, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to get access to our shows as soon as they drop. And that is all for this episode, folks, so go get after it.